Let's say we have a scene with a few render layers. But we don't want to use Blender as the compositor, we want to export them into Nuke, Natron, DaVinci Resolve, Fusion, or whatever. What do? Do we render the first layer, then rewire the compositor and render the second layer, right? Hold on, Blender actually takes care of this scenario. You might already know about this node called file output. It's going to render an OpenEXR image for each file output node per frame, but if you try using it, well, the alpha gets ignored. This node looks plain simple. All we have here is the address and the image input. How do we control the output settings for this node? Do we go into the render settings? No. We need to toggle the end panel, and with the file output node selected, we should see the extra settings for this node. Thank you Blender devs for making it so obvious as to where to search for the output settings, because I was quite confused at first. This time we wanna blur the front layer in shader nodes. What blur tools do you remember at first? If you're an experienced Blender user, you should know the trick first described by Bartek Skorupa in his famous talk on Blender Conference, manipulating texture coordinates like a boss, which involves offsetting texture coordinates using a noise texture with high scale value. But it doesn't matter how high the resolution will be, if you zoom close enough, you're going to see the tiny airbrush-like dots. The new proposed solution involves using white noise instead of the noise texture. This way, it doesn't matter how close you zoom in, you'll still see a consistent gradient. Assume this is your simple character and you need the simplest forward kinematics rig, but you don't want to have any business with weight painting and vertex groups. So this is your best solution. Much faster than the two. Select the object, shift select the armature, go to pose mode, select the bone you want to parent the object to, press Ctrl P, bone, repeat that for every body part. Finally you can easily rig your Roblox Finally, you can easily rig your insect models and ragdoll cars. A more complicated scenario followed by the same laziness. This octopus wants to be rigged. This octopus wants to be loved. Let's give him love. So the guy's tentacles intersect in the middle, which will cause issues for automatic weights. So let's try doing it the same way. Select one object, shift select the armature, select the corresponding chain, Ctrl P. Now let's make sure it only got parented to the selected bone chain. Well, it didn't. Another headache with Blender's workflow consistency. So the idea is to separate each tentacle's bones into a new armature by selecting a chain and hitting P. Next we'll use automatic weights for each individual armature and its corresponding tentacle. Now we need to join back the armature with Ctrl J. And finally, let's parent the tentacles to the armature using armature deform. This will not affect the existing weight maps, but it will add proper armature modifiers. Right after recording this video, I was told about a menu operator called weights, assign automatic from bones, which is apparently the proper way of doing it. I thought a multiple of 5 would attract more attention, so I have to extend this video for an extra tip, yet I ran out of cool tips. So what's the easiest and fastest way to make an object seamlessly turn around? You think it's go to the beginning of the animation, add a keyframe, go to the end, rotate 360, add a keyframe, change interpolation type to linear and reduce the animation length by 1 frame. No, forget it. Just select the object and type in its Z rotation hashtag frame divided by your number of frames multiplied by 2 and by pi, and enjoy. If you want to see more, subscribe, like and share, and see you in the next video.